I'm not just gonna be like, oh, life is hard, and then, you know, like, oh, get through it.
I see you still about your old ways. Might just see him for the weekend.
Let's get started. Hi guys, it is me, Natalie. I am finally back on my channel. Life has just been a lot for me, just trying to stay consistent with YouTube. Sometimes, well, a lot of the time, I kind of have to take a step back and reevaluate some situations that I'm in. I really was just getting my life together in the meantime. As a person, like, I feel like I just really am deep into my thoughts in my mind, and I really try to be the best version of me that I can be. And I'm always trying to change habits, routine, so I can be that. And sometimes I need a little reminding and awakening that I need to get some things in order. And sometimes I take a break, I take a step back. I think with YouTube, I was getting really, you have to produce, you have to do this, you have to do that in order to climb. And I wasn't taking time out for myself, time out for my routines. I was living, nothing was planned, nothing was organized. So I kind of took a step back, reevaluated things, and now I am back, hopefully for, you know, to be consistent. But that is sort of what me as a young person goes through, and I kind of want to bring that into this video because today I'm going to be talking and relating to my teenagers and my 20-year-olds who don't know what the hell they are doing in life. Before, I was just on YouTube to be on YouTube. I was somebody where I wanted to be successful, I wanted to produce content, to create and look pretty. Like, that's what we want to do as girls and people in this world. I just jumped into it and I was like, you know what, I want to make content. I don't care who I'm making it for. And I wasn't really looking at my audience and seeing what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I was like, asking myself, what is my purpose? What's the message I wanted to put out? What do I want to relay from my YouTube videos, and how do I want to connect to subscribers? And I realized that I want to connect to people who are just like me, 20-year-olds, teenagers, young people. And if you're older, that's fine too, as people in general, but mostly to people who are just like me, where we're young, we're figuring things out, we don't know what to do, we don't know what's going on. Some of us are not living how we want to live, and this is like a heart to heart. I wanted to connect to people who are just like me, to the girl who is sitting across the screen just like me. I remember in high school where I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I didn't want to live the life that, say, other people had probably seen me living. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about, because I wanted to talk to the boys and the girls who don't know what the hell they're doing with their life, and they realize that life is hard. This is going to be an in-depth talk. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, life is hard, and then, you know, like, oh, get through it. You don't realize how hard life is until you are asked out. You know, you're out of high school, you're not going to college, or you're out of college, or, you know, you're getting your first job, and you realize that the real life is hard. You have bills, you have necessities, whether you like to get your hair done, your nails done, get cute clothes, or whatever it is. It's hard to keep a high spirit while you're having money problems. Mind you, you're only 20, and you realize that is expensive. I live in South Florida, and I think that we're like now one of the most expensive places to live, and that is annoying. To get cars, you have car insurance, you just have so many things that you don't see that weigh you down. I'm somebody where I like to get my hair, nails, and whatever done. That's money. Like, everything is money. You get into your feelings because you see people living the life that you want to live, and they're living it. Oh, I bought my house at 22, I bought my house at 20, I bought my house at 18, I'm out at 17. I saw people on Instagram and YouTube who are living these amazing lifestyles, and I was like, why am I not living like this? As somebody who's still figuring out life, you kind of feel like, well, why am I not living the life that these people are living? I'm doing what I need to do, I'm producing this content, and people just aren't vibing with it. And you're going to feel like that. You are going to feel like, oh my gosh, why don't I have a Hellcat? Why don't I have a Mercedes? Why don't I have my dream car? Damn, like, what am I doing wrong? And you don't know people's lives. When you look at people on the internet, they may perceive their lives a lot better than their lives really are. You don't know if people are paying for these things. You don't know if people are doing things to obtain these things. You do not know the process of how they got those things, what they have to go through, or you simply do not know. So you cannot perceive your notion of, okay, like, why don't I have this? And also, you honestly don't know their process of getting to where they needed to go. They could have been just like you, where they're struggling, they don't know what the hell is going on, and they have to figure this out. If you see them, you can be them. So you have to realize that if you put in the time, you put in the effort, you put in the mindset, you are going to get there, and it is not the end of the world that you are not there at the age of 18 or 21 or 23 or 25. I remember being with somebody who tried to give me the facade that they just lived this amazing life. Mind you, they did not get their money legally, and being with somebody that young, it kind of manipulated how I thought. At 19 years old, I thought I needed to be with a baller, and I thought we should be able to go to Miami tomorrow, get a hotel, get a rental, and just chill for the whole Weeknd. I should be able to walk into Saks Fifth, buy whatever I want. At 19 years old, like, that's the type of money I wanted to have. So I came into that with YouTube, and I thought, I need to blow up, I need to get this money, not realizing that that is just not realistic at all. Like, money, I was very tainted with the image of trying to perceive an image for other people, and that's what I felt like he did, and that really tainted my image of just being young and, you know, not having the most money in the world. Like, I was working a full-time job at a sneaker store. I wasn't going on yachts in the daytime. I was basically, you know, didn't have the most money in my bank account, and it was hard because he made me feel like I needed the most money ever in the world. And I remember being with him, and I just always felt so down because I didn't have as much money as him. He'd always be bragging about, oh, I'm gonna make 20,000 tomorrow, I'm gonna make 10,000 this month, and I felt like, damn, what am I doing wrong where somebody could be getting money so easily, and I'm over here, I barely have $200 to my name. But that's the reality. I think as young people, we think that, okay, you get a job, you work, and you get that money, and you collect that money, and you live this life. But then when you're actually getting a job and you realize, bitch, I can't even pay my phone bill, how am I supposed to pay for my own house? How am I supposed to pay for my own car? Like, what do I do? You realize it's hard. Like, life is hard. And even when I get off this video and I'm done talking to you, and as put together as I look, or as I may look, or how I look like I have everything, or how you may look like you have everything, at the end of the day, when I turn this camera off and I go about my business, I have to be in my thoughts, and you have to be in your thoughts. And I want you to know that through that life is hard. It is not easy at all when you are young. You have so much pressure on you to produce, and like, I look at my parents and I'm like I feel like all eyes are on me right now, because I'm like, okay, it's like, Natalie, okay, so what are you doing? And yes, I may have answers, but it's different when you have to produce those answers. It's like, yeah, I could tell you, but I have to show you. Like, I have to get up out your house. I have to pay my own car note now. Moving out has been a struggle for me. Like I said, I live in South Florida. Rent is ridiculously high. Right now, I am not thinking about moving out just because I don't feel like financially I'm there yet. I want to be comfortable, and I don't want to have to be struggling to pay rent. And I think that is another thing that is kind of hard for like me and my generation to think about, because we feel like we need to move out tomorrow. You feel like you need to have your own house and car by next week, and it's like, that's not the reality of things. And I've experienced that where it has put me down, because I see other people moving out, creating their lives not near me. Like, and it's crazy because it's not near me that people are moving out. Like, I have no friends who are really moved out. Somehow, looking at social media, I feel that I need to move out. Again, I'm not looking at the reality of things. I'm looking at what is perceived to me. I'm looking at the YouTubers I watch. I'm looking at people on social media. And like I said, even when I shut off this camera, you're still gonna struggle with that. How I always look at being young is you are supposed to struggle right now. You're supposed to struggle. I don't know if anybody's told you this, but you are. You're supposed to hustle right now. My story is a little different. I don't feel like it's that different. I think a lot of people can relate to it, but I've always been smart. In high school and middle school, I've always been a smart kid, but I never was truly into school. Like, some people, they wait for the day that they can apply to a college. They wait for the day where they could submit their SAT scores or take the SAT test. But I think that because I produced so well in middle school and high school with good grades, it was kind of seen to me where, okay, you're gonna go to college and you're gonna make the best out of your life. My mom went to college. She went to Florida State, which is a big university here in Florida, and it is a hard university to get into. You have to actually be smart to get into that university. Well, in high school, I just didn't care for college. I applied to one college, got in, and I did what I had to do. I was in college for a month. I decided to drop out. And that's kind of where emotions and everything all started. I really wanted to take a full force on YouTube, not knowing how the hell to produce and how to make content, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I did that, had no clue what I was doing. I was working a full-time job at a shoe store. My content was trash. I thought it was amazing, but it wasn't. But yeah, after that, I struggled. When I had to tell my parents that I wanted to drop out, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought that what I'm doing, I wanted to do, and I still feel like that. I always say that my biggest flex is that I'm not in college. But as somebody who has dropped out, I feel like I started to feel like a burden to my parents. Living in my mom's house, not getting out, not going to a dorm, making noise late at night when she has to go to work in the morning, and I filming or editing a YouTube video and watching TV at a level 20. You feel like a burden in that you don't really know what you want to do. And I constantly have the feeling of, did I make the right decision? I know deep down in my heart I don't care for college. I'll never care for it. If you ask me if I ever will go back to college, it'll probably be a no. But yeah, I constantly deal with the fact of, I feel like when now in my life I put myself in wrong situations, and that stemmed from my biggest decision, which was dropping out of college. As a 20-year-old who's not moved out, it just is putting the things in place for her to move out and to live a life of independence. I sort of feel like in situations it's like, did I put myself in the wrong position? Should I have just went to college, get a career that paid me what, 70,000 a year, have my own place, and then be doing YouTube with that? Thing was, I was in college, I was working a full-time job, and I was doing YouTube, and I thought it was just too much. It was a lot. I wanted to focus on getting money and YouTube, which I felt like would eventually make me money. It's not making me money now, but that was my mindset then. So like now all eyes are on me. I have to produce. Yes, I'm 20 years old. Like I said, my parents are watching me, my family's watching me, like, oh, how's Natalie? Oh, she's still at home, she's doing, like, it to me, it didn't sound right in my head. I kind of went back on to relay the message of, like I said, like feeling like sort of a burden in my house as a young person, just feeling like you're just around and you need your own space. And it was just in little stuff of feeling like I was a burden, like, oh, I leave a mess in the kitchen, don't clean it up. I try to clean it up, but something gets left behind, or I leave my shoes at the door. Or it's like, when you think like that, you are in your head so small. It's like you overthink everything, and that goes into affecting your mental health, feeling like you're not wanted, feeling like this is how you'll live your life forever. You start to question yourself, you start to question what you have going on. I'd be wrong if I say that I never have thought about what if I don't make it, and convinced myself that what if this just isn't for me. Like, it is. I have realized that it's so hard to grow on this platform, especially when I don't promote myself and I kind of just want to vibe and genuinely have a genuine connection to people. And then when I don't see that producing, I kind of feel like, damn, like, what am I doing? And it starts to affect my mental health, and I'm like, damn, I'm not going anywhere in life. I'm always going to be a burden to my mom, to my dad who I'm staying with, or to the people who, in other people's situations, people who you need or who you are staying with. I think as a young person, you feel like you need to have that figured out, and you feel like in a way you are in people's space. And that's what I mean by it's hard. Like, I think that people just say, oh, life is hard, but they don't explain, okay, but how is it hard? Like, what are some experiences that you have, that I have, that we can connect and we can grow with each other, and we can feel peace in our thoughts and in our mind? Like, yeah, it's hard, but like, everything is hard. Life is hard, but how does it connect me to you, where growing up as somebody who doesn't have their life figured out is hard? It's a lot to take in, that it's like, but college just wasn't for me. It wasn't my calling. It wasn't something I wanted to do. So I think back, no, like, you didn't like college. It wasn't for you. There's so many other things you could do in the meantime. Like, I picked up the skills on lashes, and that's what I want to do while working. I realized, and I think about that, and that has made me so much happier than going to college ever could and ever would. Like I said, it's not an advice video, but my advice to you is just to find something that you truly love to do, something that you want to work on, something you want. At first, I didn't really like lashes. I just knew that you could learn lashes. So I would say, like, find hobbies. Dropping out is really my first big girl decision. It really signified to me sort of kind of my independence and me figuring out. It's my first kind of like big girl decision, and it's something where right now I actively have it as as a kind of like situation in my life, a decision that will be with me for the rest of my life. It is a topic where I will tell my kids, and it's a topic where my kids will tell their kids. That was a huge thing for me. It meant something to me. It signified something to me, where it signified to me that what I really wanted to do, I was going to do, and I was going to put my mind to it, and I was going to get it done. Nobody made me come to that decision. It was something I wanted to do. It's still something I struggle with to this day, but as a person, I know that I know my plan, I know my goals, and I'm going to work towards them, and I'm going to do what I have to do to get to the next step. And that was what dropping out of college signified for me, that yeah, life isn't gonna really go as planned. Like we're gonna go off course, and we're gonna figure this out. Like, you're going to struggle, you're going to have to hustle now, so you're gonna drop out, and you are gonna go through very, very challenging time. We are figuring things out. We're young, we're impressionable, we are learning every day. We have to take care of ourselves, and we have to realize our bigger picture and work towards that. Whether you get to that in a year, 5 years, 10 years, as long as you are improving and trying to live a better life with healthy habits. Like I said, I'm always kind of reevaluating my life and my situations, and healthy habits have been the biggest thing for me as a young person. I feel like I see everybody around me and they have their lives together. Cars clean, house is clean, and that sort of wants to put me in the position where I have healthy habits, like waking up every day and making my bed, going to the gym, providing that discipline and straight line in my life, cutting out distractions, cutting off friends who are not good for me, cutting off people who I feel like I'm settling for. I want to tell you, get in the mindset of clearing out the inside world, and the outside world will clear itself out. And when I mean inside world, I mean things that you do in your home, things that you work on within your body. Eating right, having a clean space, having an organized space, waking up early, not feeling like you have to rush your day or feeling like you have no time in your day. And it doesn't have to be a huge change in a day. It could start really small. If you're somebody who you see that you consistently wake up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, start trying to wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Start trying to, and I'm somebody where I have a job where I'm gonna be there till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 a.m. is a little over exaggerating, but 2 a.m. It's not a healthy way for me to live, where I work till 2 in the morning and I get up at 1 p.m. You know, that I'm not gonna get anywhere with a life like that. I have to start incorporating healthy habits that make me feel good, make me feel productive. One of my biggest things now is to feel productive in my life. There is not enough hours in the day. I feel like there's just not enough. The next day just comes way too quick. So having healthy habits of getting up as early as I can, going to the gym, having breakfast, and then coming home, doing what I need to do, and getting out real quick, doing my errands, coming home and doing the rest that I need to do has worked the best for me. A young person now, I just want to learn healthy habits to take into my life, to where when I do move out, I am disciplined, I live like a grown person, and I know what I have to do in order to keep my sanity. When you have a messed up inside life, where your room is messed up, you just have things everywhere, and you're not living kind of like that clean lifestyle and that organized lifestyle, you are going to see that transpire into your everyday life. If you are a mess inside your house, and I mean as a person, you are going to have a mess of people who come into your life. And that's in boyfriends. You don't want to be put in the position where you have messy friends. You don't want to be put in the situation where you have a toxic boyfriend. And that is where you want to clear up your life in the inside, in your home, and that'll transpire out. One thing I always saw with YouTubers and people who I looked up to is that they just had a very organized lifestyle. One of my favorite YouTubers is Aaliyah's Face, and she just has an amazing, well put together lifestyle. At least that's what she shows. You see a difference in your mood and how you approach things and how you address things. You feel so much happier. And as a young person who just doesn't have any structure, you feel like your whole life is like, damn, like what am I doing? Like I don't even go to bed at a certain time. I'm waking up and I can't get the things I need to get done, while other people are getting so much done and they're so productive in their days. And like I said, like obviously it's like be realistic about things, but how I feel like is, if if you have an organized inside life, when you have outside stuff that you're dealing with, it doesn't affect you as hard. When your life is messed up at your home, at the start of your problems, if you invite negativity into your life, if you have this problem, this problem, this problem, and then this problem comes along, it's like, damn, like my life is falling apart. But if you are organized and clean and structured with your lifestyle, and you have a problem that comes on and you're like, damn, I have to deal with this problem, it's not this huge deal where you feel like your life is falling apart. You simply feel like, okay, I have to reevaluate the situation. I have to approach this problem and I will get through it. You want to feel that structure and that, you know, smoothness of your life. I felt the need to put that and incorporate that into my life. But as a young person, you are going to feel like it is hard. And at first it is hard to put that into your life. But if you clear your mind, you clear your mental, you take your time, not naturally and easy, but it'll come eventually. I'm really giving advice to myself right now, to be honest with you, because I'm going through necessarily the same thing as being young, 20-something years old, and just now stepping into sort of adulthood. It's hard, but it's okay. You're gonna get through it. And seeing everybody winning around you is normal, whether it's in real life or on social media. You have to grow at your own time. You have to know the journey you are on. You have to plan out, know your journey, know your worth, know the ride that you are on, and appreciate your journey, appreciate your life. You have to go through these things. You have to go through things, because when people finally see you, they're like, damn, like you just blew up out of nowhere. Like, no, you do not know the challenges I had. Damn, like you got here overnight. Like this shit was easy for you. But it's like, if only you knew, like if only you knew how much time put into this and I put into myself, and how sometimes I felt like I was worth nothing. This was not an overnight process, and you're going to feel like that. Right now, you have nobody. You are simply on your own trying to get to the next step. You are going to feel like I'm putting in all this work for nothing, but you don't realize that this is how you are supposed to feel in the beginning. The beginning is hard. Like, money is hard to come by. Structure, organization, planning, it is hard to come by. There's going to be a million times where you fail. You're always going to be improving and reevaluating your journey, your life. But yeah, that is my video for me and my 20-something-year-olds and my teenagers as well, my just young people in general who are trying to figure out life. We don't know what the hell we are doing, but we are here. We are trying to make the best of it and just like do what we have to do to better our lives, better ourselves. Like I literally have a whole notebook where I have my topics to where I can connect, and I want this to be a channel where people find comfort in being young and not having it like that, not having the financials, not having a house, not having, whether it's a car or not having their own place, not having Fendi and Chanel and Gucci and all this stuff in their closet. My young people who are working, whether it's a job or it is on their own as entrepreneurs, in the sense of having, you know, being on their own, having their freedom, but also working on their own stuff, whether you're making anything or providing a service to people or having your own line of anything. Everybody who is trying to figure their life out and doesn't really have the answers and doesn't have somebody to connect with them and tell them like, yeah, this is hard. Like if you are by yourself and you don't talk to anybody, like I'm here to tell you and we're here to vibe and connect, and I'm telling you, like, girl, if I didn't go to work, I probably would not have any friends like that. Like you're gonna be in your own journey for this for a while and it's gonna be fine, but you're gonna get through it. Like I said, when this camera comes off, it's still going to be hard, but be inspired. Start doing what you want to do. Start organizing, structuring, creating healthy habits in your life to put yourself in place to where you can grow efficiently and effectively, because you can focus on that growth, not too hard, but to the point where you can produce. When I shut off this camera, I'm gonna have to deal with every day-to-day life, and you're gonna have to deal with every day-to-day life, but we're gonna get through it, and you're gonna know that, hey, put yourself in the position to do what you got to do and take care of yourself, take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of of your room these things, and you will see that transpire into your outside life, and you will see things starting to grow for yourself, whether and clear up in your mind. I always feel inspired by watching other people, by being in my thoughts, by and whatever. Feel inspired always feel inspired. And if you lose your inspiration, find people who are genuinely living the life that say you kind of want to see yourself, but who are humble about it, who are like, no, giving you advice, giving you that character, building that character with you. Like Aaliyah's Face, I love her. She inspires me. I find inspiration in her. So find inspiration in people, but also have your own inspiration of how you want to do things and how you want to switch it up and how you want to be. So yes, I'm rambling, but I really want you guys to know that you are loved, you are protected, and you are going to make it, and we are going to take this journey together. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video so much. You guys have an amazing day, night, wherever you are in. Bye.
I am on my own now.